Hi everyone, my name is Cynthia, and in this video, I am going to discuss about business communications, especially focusing on business reports, business emails, and business letters. But instead of explaining it in a theoretical way, I will present it through a story how a simple group discussions among students can turn into a meaningful idea and even a potential business. So let's begin.
Kalau kamu mau sukses jangan cuma wacana. Bisnis report kita harus jelas maknanya. Dari awal penulisan harus ada tujuan, supaya laporan kita punya arah ke depan. Data dikumpulkan dengan cara yang benar, biar hasil laporan bisa dipercaya benar. Kopi dangdut minumnya di sini, laporan kita dibuat setiap hari, info data analisa sampai jadi laporan yang pasti. Kopi dangdut bikin semangat lagi. Kerja tim kita harus jadi harmoni. Email letter kita jalani menuju bisnis masa depan. Kalau kamu mau sukses jangan cuma wacana. Bisnis report kita harus jelas maknanya. Dari awal penulisan harus ada tujuan.
This story title is From Simple Excitement to Epic Visions. Okay. It was a calm afternoon near Universitas Panchabakti. The sun was not too hot, and the atmosphere felt perfect for a casual discussions. Inside a cozy cafe, not far from campus, five university students sat around a wooden table. What started as a simple meeting for a class assignment slowly turned into something much more meaningful. On the table, there were several documents neatly spread out. Some were labeled business report, others business letter, and one of them was a draft of a business email. In the center, a laptop was opened, displaying an unfinished report. Cups of coffee and iced drinks surround them, showing that this would not be a short discussion. At first, their goal was clear to finish their assignment. Okay, guys, we need to make sure our business report is complete. One of them said while scrolling through a document on laptop. Another student leaned forward and added, don't forget a good business report must be clear, structured, and based on a real data. It's not just writing, it's about delivering information effectively. They began reviewing the structure together. They talk about the importance of having a strong introduction to explain the background of the problem. Then they discussed the methodology, where they needed to explain how the data was collected. After they come the findings, which contain the results of their analysis, and finally the conclusions and recommendations. As the discussions went deeper, their perspective started to change. One of them paused and said, you know, business reports are not only for assignment. Companies use them to make decisions. The others noted. That statement made them realize something's important. What they were learning was not just academic theory, but some things that would be useful in the real life. The conversation slowly shifted. What if we actually create business idea based on this report? Another student suggested. At first, they laughed, but then silence filled the table, not because they disagreed, but because they were thinking. Why not? Someone responds. We already understand the structure, we just need an idea. There was a turning point. They start brainstorming. Ideas come one by one. Some were unrealistic, some too complicated, but they didn't stop until one idea caught everyone's attention. What about creating a business based on environmental issues? One of them said, like recycling? Another asked, yes, but more creative. Not just recycling, upcycling, turning waste into something valuable. Suddenly, the energy changed. Everyone became more engaged. They began discussing real problems around them, especially in their local area. They talked about how waste, especially plastic and unused materials, was still not managed properly. Many people threw things away without thinking about their potential value. This could be our opportunity, one of them said confidently. They quickly divided roles, not formally, but naturally. One focused on writing the reports, another analyzed the potential market one, and one talked about products design, and the others discussed marketing strategies. At the moment, they realized how important communications tools were in business. For example, one student explained, if we want to propose our idea to a company or investor, we need the formal business letter. And if we want to communicate daily with clients or partners, we use business email, another added. And the business report, someone continued, is what we use to evaluate our progress and present our analysis. Everything started to connect. Their assignment was no longer just an assignment. It became a simulation of real business practice. They began writing seriously. In the introductions, they explained the experimental problems, the increasing amount of waste, and the lack of awareness about recycling. In the findings, they include simple research and observations. They note that many young people were start to care about sustainable products. This indicated a growing market opportunity. In the recommendations, they propose creating small products from recycled materials such as accessories or souvenirs, which are affordable and environmentally friendly. The more they wrote, the more real it felt. Time passed quickly. The cafe became quieter as evening approaches, but their discussions remained alive. At one point, one of them looking at the others and said, what if we actually continue this after assignment is done? The question hung in the air. This time, no one laughed, because deep down, they all had the same talk. This could be real. They imagined turning their ideas into actual products, creating a small brand, and maybe even growing it into something bigger. They imagined writing a real business emails to customers, sending business letters to partners, and presenting business reports to evaluate their growth. For the first time, they didn't just see themselves as students. They saw themselves as a future entrepreneurs. As the meeting came to an end, they saved their documents, closed the laptop, and organized their papers. The assignment was not fully finished yet, but something more important has already been created: a vision. They left the cafe with smiles, not just because they had made progress, but because they had discovered something new about business, about teamwork, and about themselves. That afternoon was started as a simple academic discussions had turned into a meaningful experience. And maybe, just maybe, it was the first step towards something bigger. And now, from the story, we can understand that business reports, business emails, and business letters are not just theoretical concepts. They are essential tools in a real world communications, especially in the business environment. Through proper communications and collaborations, even a small idea can grow into something impactful. So, thank you for watching.